are being remembered for their decades of service. KTLA's Eric Spillman, live in East LA with more. Eric, good morning.
Well, good morning, Frank. We're getting some new information about what may have led up to the explosion that killed those 3 sheriff's deputies. It comes from a source connected to the Sheriff's Homicide Bureau. It is unconfirmed. We've not been able to confirm it. However, here is what the source is saying. On Thursday of last week, members of the Sheriff's Arson Explosives Detail were called to an apartment building in Santa Monica to dispose of 2 military grenades that were found there. Apparently, they had been kept there by a former member of the U.S. military who stole them during their training. Now, according to the source, the deputies recovered the grenades, x-rayed them on the scene, and believed that they were inert. They then loaded them onto their truck and drove them back here to East LA, where their unit is headquartered. Now, our source says the following morning, here in East LA at the Biscayne Center, the deputies in the Arson Explosives Unit, believing that the grenades were inert, in other words, that they would not explode because the items had already been x-rayed. Excuse me while that fire truck goes by. They believed that they would not explode because they'd already been x-rayed. Our source says these deputies decided to cut one of the grenades in half as a training exercise in order to examine and show what was inside of it. That is when the device exploded, killing the 3 deputies. So according to the source, it was a tragic mistake or accident that caused those 3 men to lose their lives. Again, this is coming from a source within the Sheriff's Department. I spoke to Sheriff's Headquarters Bureau just moments ago. They're not able to confirm the source's information. They say the explosion is still under investigation. They are not able to comment. Now, the deputies who were killed had a combined 74 years of experience in the Sheriff's Department.
Wow.
Joshua Kelley-Eklund became a deputy in 2006. He leaves behind a wife and 7 children. Detective Victor Lemus joined the Sheriff's Department in 2003. He was married and a father of 3 daughters. Detective William Osborn was a longtime arson investigator who has worked for the department since 1992. He leaves behind a wife and 6 children. We've been asking about whether there will be a public memorial for these 3 deputies. Plans for that have not yet been announced, but if they do have such a thing, such a ceremony, a public ceremony, and I believe they will, they're going to need a very large venue because a lot of people have been very much saddened by what happened, and they would want to attend such an event.
Wow. You're not. Can't hear you, Mark.
So this is going to be a training issue for a long time in all the police academies and stuff out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I read some of the comments and people were sometimes, people say some pretty insensitive stuff, but it's like these guys, it sounds like they had the pedigree, they knew what they were doing. They just, people make mistakes and something definitely went wrong. And, I know that in my career, I was involved in the recovery of 2 times grenades, and people found them in their family's closets. And they assured us one time, oh, that's just a training grenade. It's not real. It's just, I'm going, yeah. How do you know? It looked pretty real to me. And another time, I wasn't there, but somebody came into the info center with a grenade and said they wanted to bring it in. They wanted to turn it in because they found it in their loved one's closet. And I walked into the police department with a grenade. So it does happen.
Yeah, 2 of our officers shot a man who had they didn't know if it was real or not, but he had a grenade in his hand, and he was threatening the officer with a grenade. They wound up shooting him. And I
was there when you guys shot one with a beanbag gun on the freeway.
Oh, is that right?
Right off the freeway. Yeah, I was there. You guys shot him with a beanbag gun. He dropped.
Yeah, but my question is, according to this news reporter, the owner of the grenade allegedly stole it from the military, and so that raises the question in my mind: is he going to be prosecuted for stealing the grenade? And is he subject to the felony murder rule for the death of the 3 deputies?
Good call.
As a result of that, if we could get it would be nice to get an opinion from a district attorney somewhere who could help us with that.
All right, let's move on. Got a mother speaks out about